we are going to talk about winter maintenance. I know you people in Arizona, you're just laughing at us. Arizona, just tune out, and specifically that's to my in-laws that live in Arizona. So, but no. So there are some things that we need to consider, and most of it is regarding water. We need to think about pipes and frozen water and that sort of thing. It's going to be a short video today, but we want to talk about, hey, you need to know where your main shutoff is, so that if you see that you have an issue, you know exactly where to go and shut that thing off. We're going to talk about outside hose bib.
We're also going to talk about your power lines. We'll have a little reminder to clean out your gutters as well and talk about why that's important. Another one that we wanted to mention, and we'll kind of walk here in just a second, is minimum temperatures in your home. Should you turn your heat off? Should you leave your heat on? But let's go look at the temperature, the thermostat, and we'll talk a little bit about maybe a minimum safe temperature of what to leave your house at.
All right, so it's really common these days that you can get a digital thermostat. And another thing that's really common is that you can get a very easily programmable thermostat. As far as winter temperatures, you know, I think I'd have a hard time dropping it down below 60 degrees. I don't think there's any reason to drop below that. Talking about winterizing things, one thing you want to pay attention to, this is a frost-free hose bib, and people think that, oh, okay, it's never going to freeze. But if you leave this hose connected to it and it freezes, it will freeze back in there because it's holding water up against this. And the whole point of a frost-free hose bib is it can drain out of this area and it goes back into the wall and it's all completely drained. The valve is actually back in the wall. So if you leave the hose connected, it can still freeze. Make sure that you take your hose off, disconnect it, wind up your hose somewhere else, but do not leave it connected. So this is our water shut off on this house that's in the middle of renovations. Actually, we put a new valve on here so it was easier to go on and off. This is a quarter turn ball valve. The old ones didn't work quite as good, so you want to make sure that you know where it is, and you want to make sure that you can actually turn it on and off. Okay, this is one of the older style shutoffs that has the twist shutoff, and I just recommend that you make sure that that thing will go in and out as it should, because they sit open for so many years that when you go to try to turn them in an emergency, sometimes that handle will actually break off of there. You're going to want to look for your main shutoff by, the problem is they're all over the place. Often they're going to be on the front of the house. They might be in a utility room. They're not generally going to be around your electrical panel, because obviously electric and water, they don't want to mix those. But look around, try to find it ahead of time. There's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of different places it can be, but it's going to be in your best interest to look and find out where it is and know ahead of time.
So here's some examples of things that you don't want to encounter with your power lines leading up to your house. You can see there's some untrimmed trees and they are overhanging some electric lines here that are supplying the power to the house. And as we move into winter and as we get colder temperatures that bring that ice and snow, all of that produces weight on these trees that weighs them down and brings them not just closer to your power lines, but can bring them down on and actually cause a branch to break and take out your power to your home. So as you think towards winter preparedness, think about maybe having a tree service come out and clean up your power line. We think of spring cleaning, but there's also an element of winter preparation and winter cleaning. Another thing to think about with trimming your branches back is it actually your responsibility? Some of the lines are property and responsibility of the power company. So we'd encourage you to reach out to your power company and see if the section where you maybe see some branches or the tree itself, see if it's their responsibility or your responsibility.
As we're talking about winterization and coming into the wet season and all that, you do want to make sure that your gutters are cleaned out, get that water away from the house, get that moisture off the roof and away. So another reason that we need to keep the gutters cleaned out is because that can hold that moisture in the gutter, which then in turn, if we get snow and if that gutter's full and the snow is being held there, it tends to melt the most at the overhang, at the point where the wall meets the roof of the house. And so if you're holding moisture there, what it does is it backs up underneath, or it has the ability to back up underneath the shingles, causing an ice dam, causing water leakage into your house. Just keeping your gutters clear is just good habit anyways, but it does help prevent some of that backing up underneath the shingles.
We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to send in your questions either through email or through a comment below, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. See you soon.
See you soon.